comatose in my bed for 18 hours, and she would just leave me there. She said, "Fine, he's getting some sleep." And just the least little thing, I would have not woken up, and I'm just very fortunate. Unlike some of the stories that have been told, even with my knowledge, addicts, we all feel we're unique. I can do this. It's not going to affect me. I'm better than this. I know better. I know the risks, blah, blah, blah. I used alcohol and narcotics together with benzodiazepines and whatever else. But I would have these periods of time where I just sleep for a long, long time. And finally, I arrived in the hospital because I was in such terrific pain from this spinal. But while I was there and I wasn't getting the drugs that I was at home, they were giving me drugs, but it wasn't nearly as much as I was getting at home. And I started hallucinating and basically detoxing in front of them. They thought I had a brain tumor and so forth, and it was with a lot of persuasion that I was able to tell them I am a drug addict. And that didn't really sit well with me because with all my hopes and ambitions, I never imagined myself standing here today talking to you about drug addiction as a drug addict. That was not something I ever aspired to be. And I take full responsibility for what happened to me. I took that first drug. I'm accountable for that. But there comes a time when you're using involuntarily. You have no choice. I was talking to someone earlier here that's struggling with the very same thing, someone here today. And I was fortunate because when my story came out in the hospital, my family doctor, myself, some of the social workers there said, we need to get him off to some treatment facility somewhere. So I basically did detox in the hospital. I ended up in Crosby House, and not everyone can get into Crosby House. It's just shy of $8,000 to get into 28 days there, and that's not the ways and means for everyone. And while I was there, they recognized that I had other issues, so I actually ended up going to Crosby House twice without leaving. And I was there basically 50-some days, and I had an intake done, and I was sent to Canada's largest privately owned psychiatric hospital in Guelph, Ontario, Homewood. And I did a month in CPC, Comprehensive Psychiatric Care there, because no one, including myself, was convinced that I really wanted to spend any more time on the planet. So they had to really probe where I was, do I have hope, all of those things, and start dealing with some of the psychiatric problems that I have. And one of them goes back to, I don't know if anybody can see this, but there's fire apparatus on my tie. In 2001, on September 11th, I was one of 7 Cumberland County firefighters that went down to Ground Zero and did rescue work there. I was